I am disappointed that this rather modest measure to help Puerto Rico address its challenges in an orderly and legal way seems to be in a vortex in which we can't get it out. There are four things that I think we need to be clear about. Every single municipality in the United States already has access to Chapter 9. Puerto Rico had access to it until 1984, when a provision was stuck into a larger bill with no explanation or debate. Restoring Chapter 9 to the island doesn't cost the United States Treasury a single penny, nor will it raise the deficit, and perhaps most importantly, all other measures both the mainland and the island can take are virtually meaningless without this restructuring authority. So I appreciate the chairman's remarks about being open to negotiate, but we have been negotiating this issue for several months now. We've heard from stakeholders representing every interest on the island. We've had 3 congressional hearings, and while there may be some differences on the exact prescription, virtually everyone agrees that some restructuring authority must be part of the cure. Now again, this is something we can do right now. This is something that doesn't cost anything or need an offset. And it is something tangible that will give, and I want to focus on this, the 3.5 million American citizens who live in Puerto Rico a fighting chance. This is not about some foreign country. The citizens of Puerto Rico are citizens of the United States. If all 3.5 million came here to the mainland, they'd have the rights and privileges as any other United States citizen. They'd be eligible fully for any benefit that any citizen of the United States has. So sometimes we look at the people of Puerto Rico and I've had members in the past when I served in the House of Representatives who asked me, do I need a passport to go to Puerto Rico? Pretty amazing. This is not some foreign country. This is the United States of America. The United States of America. They are U.S. citizens. They deserve to be treated as U.S. citizens. The people of Puerto Rico have fought in virtually every war that the United States has ultimately had. If you go to the Vietnam Memorial, Mr. President, with me, you will see a disproportionate number of names from the island of Puerto Rico who served in that war. Or the 65th Infantry Division in the Korean War, an all Puerto Rican division among the most highly decorated in the history of U.S. military actions. And on and on. Shameful, shameful that we treat 3.5 million American citizens this way. Now, this crisis didn't develop overnight, nor will it be fixed in a day, but the present governor, Governor Padilla, and the government of Puerto Rico have done everything they can to right the ship and restore a path to solvency. This governor, Alejandro Padilla, didn't create this crisis. It's gone on through various administrations in Puerto Rico. But he has done the tough choices. He's closed schools and hospitals. He's laid off police and firefighters. He's raised taxes on businesses and individuals. They've gone beyond what a sovereign nation, for example, like Greece, would ever imagine of doing. But they've run out of options. They've run out of options. All the cuts and tax hikes won't make a dent in this crisis without the breathing room that restructuring authority provides. This problem isn't going to go away. But I do say that as Congress fiddles, Puerto Rico burns. And it would be outrageous if the Congress goes home for holiday and leaves a brewing catastrophe to the 3.5 million citizens of Puerto Rico who had fought for and died for this country. So I hope that these negotiations, which, as a distinguished ranking member said, should be focused on the issue of Puerto Rico, the 3.5 million United States citizens who live there, who wear the uniform of the United States, who have fought for it proudly, who have died for it, ultimately is not linked to something that has nothing to do with those 3.5 million United States citizens. Puerto Rico isn't asking us to pull them out of this hole. They're just asking us to give them the tools that they can help themselves with. We have, for over a century, an inextricable bond with the island of Puerto Rico and its people, and we should not turn back our backs on their great commitment to our country. And I am going to come again and again, and I'm going to remind my fellow Americans, Puerto Rican descent, in Pennsylvania, in Ohio, in Florida, in New York and New Jersey, and elsewhere around this country, about their need to raise their voices on behalf of their fellow citizens. This is pretty outrageous to me. With that, Mr. President, I yield the floor.